Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, I'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 11 of the anime series Akuma no Riddle. And pretty much in this episode, we finally have everything revealed as to the motivations behind the Black Class and what this has all been about, setting these assassins upon Haru and, making a game out of it and everything like that, giving someone potentially a prize, whoever were to, successfully take her life and all this stuff. Very much along the lines of my speculation and theorizing, we find out that this has all been a primer to basically put Haru through the motions and see if she could survive attacks from 12 assassins. And of course, Takaku was pretty much something predictable within that scenario because they believe this, hub sort of group which oversees clans, they're all from the same origin bloodlines, but they exist all over the world, almost Illuminati-esque, controlling all aspects of government and society and art and wealth and power. And this hub group, they need to find someone who will become the new Queen Bee, the sort of successor to the current, who I believe to be this woman Yuri, who is the chairperson. And, essentially it's very interesting in that Haru is very much aware of what they've been trying to do, but she's also very harshly in denial that she possesses any sort of powers to be able to manipulate anyone. And the big question overhanging this whole episode, for Takaku especially, is, was I doing this of my own free will? Was I protecting Haru of my own free will and getting us to this point? Or was I falling, subjective to whatever power she possesses, if she does truly possess this power? And of course, Haru basically stands off against this Yuri woman, telling her, no, I don't believe it. I'm not going to go along with it. I will not become the Queen Bee. That's not what I wanted. I wanted freedom and to live a free life and a happy life and all these things. And so the conflict just ramps up tenfold. Now, what I find interesting, of course, is in her mulling this over, Takaku basically decides the only way she can truly put to the test whether there is some sort of power on Haru's behalf is to then take up that, sort of announcement of, I'm going to take Haru's life and going after her. And by the end of this episode, that's what we essentially leave off with. Footnotes to add along the journey in this episode, though, involve Neo, and when Neo is giving the sort of speech, with this Yuri woman overseeing it about what this is all about, and Yuri then explains the whole Queen Bee thing and all this kind of stuff, we note that there is a little black envelope, much akin to all of the other assassins in Class Black, the ones that they had to hand Haru essentially and say, I'm coming for you now, I'm gunning for you, have 48 hours to take her life. If Neo has one of these, if that's what that amounts to, it's very interesting to me, because that could twist how this is all going to play out in the final episode, whereas Takaku seems very much primed, no pun intended, to try to take Haru's life to prove a point, and to prove for herself that, there wasn't some sort of manipulation against her in her mind from Haru's origin. Basically we have the added aspect of, well, maybe Neo could take up the slack. Maybe we'll actually see a twist in the final episode where, amidst Takaku's, brandishing her sword and saying, I'm going to take Haru's life, we'll have Neo get in between them, and then Takaku will end up inadvertently having to save Haru again. Remains to be seen. I highly doubt that this series would actually have the cojones to, let Takaku kill Haru, because it did seem like there was somewhat of a, romance, at least beginning, to grow between them, and it's something that Takaku really hasn't been able to, comprehend within her own mind. So it still could go a couple of different ways as we enter the finale of this series, and I do find it somewhat fascinating, even though aspects of it were very predictable. I'm really hoping, I have my own sort of ideas as to where I'd like to see the series go in its finale, but we'll have to wait and see what happens as the final episode approaches. And as I say, we basically have Takaku primed and ready to take Haru's life. We have the question mark factors of this Yuri woman, Neo, and all this kind of stuff, and it'll be very interesting to see how it all culminates. So yeah, otherwise that'll be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.